Hey everyone, welcome to another series where I interview people who live and work or study in New York City. As you know, people move from different parts of the world, whether it be for a good life, whether to study, whether to live, work. And today we have a guest, Cornelia. Thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you for having me. Yeah, Cornelia, hi. So I just graduated last year and I moved to New York City last September. Currently, I'm working in New York City, and in my free time, I'm a influencer on Instagram. I explore a lot of like restaurants and then sports. I really like this city. Great. So, do you want to tell people where did you move originally from and how long you've been here? So I'm originally from China, and 4 years ago I went to the state for my college, and I just graduated, like I said, last year, and then I moved to New York City. So I've been a New Yorker for half a year so far. Oh wow, half a year. Yeah. Number one question I have for you is you've lived in New York City for a while now. What's one thing you wish someone told you before you moved here? So before I came to the city, yeah, I would imagine, oh, so many people. I'm gonna have a lot of like connections, but the truth is like sometimes you feel lonely, yeah, and it's really normal. Yeah, I mean you're surrounded by people, but a true connection needs a lot of efforts. You have to actively seek it by yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like because when I just moved here, I mean I do have friends here, but I still feel sometimes kind of like feel lost. And yeah, it's at the very beginning, but later I realized, oh, I begin to like reorganize my thoughts and know what I really want. The city really can provide a lot to you. Yeah. So the second question, I've known you for a while. I know you're a traveler. You've been to 46 countries. What makes New York City special to you? Oh, that's a good question. So, I really like to stay with people who are different from me. Yeah. So, New York City is famous for her diversity. So, I feel like it helps me a lot. And also, it's like New York City is like a compressed version of the world. You can meet, yeah, people and also like talented people from all over the world. I really like it. That's true. Yeah, that's the part I enjoy it a lot. Yeah. Right. As an ENFP-A, you seem to thrive on connection and spontaneity. How does that play out in a city that never stops moving? Yeah, that's I like this question because I'm a really a spontaneous person, yeah, and I feel like New York City is like a hub. You can just like make a spontaneous go to a spontaneous event and meet some spontaneous people. You can just like have some idea pop up in your mind. Maybe the idea may can like change your life decision, and then I think that's something I really enjoyed it. You may, for example, you just probably went to some event in New York City and then you met some like inspiring people and they sounds like they told you something that could change your life. And I think because I'm really a adventurous person as well, in New York City is like each corner, each connection could give me the things I want, something new. It's like you said, a lot of things going on here every day. So every day is a new day for me. I really like it. That's great. You often talk about personal growth. How has NYC shaped or challenged your growth journey? I feel like so before I moved to New York City, I feel like growth is about like moving forward, whether you move forward. But after I came to New York City, I realized growth means you can ground yourself in the chaos. Yeah. Because it's a lot of information here and you have a lot of people in your life. Sometimes I know like people are in different time zone. Yeah. Some people may have already like built their own things and some people like for example they're pursuing their like master or MBA degree in school. And it's really easy for you to feel, oh why am I still here when why I still like maybe I don't have something in I mean it's normal you have to like ground yourself and to quickly recognize your like strengths and then try to like leverage your resources around you. And it's good for you to like pause. It's not means like you just stop there. You are just reorganize a lot of things. Like those things can help you to make a right decision. Like yeah. That's great. Great answer. Next question I have is what's a hidden gem or underrated ritual in your New York City routine that makes the chaos feel manageable? Oh, I'm a super active person, so I go to the gym every morning. Okay. So basically, I do like boxing, and also I go to K-pop dance, and then I play tennis with friends. So basically, I work hard every day. Okay. So it's really helped me like release the pressure, stress, and also I can meet a lot of new people in different like clubs, tennis club and the boxing club. It's really good for me to like feel refreshed and then continue to do my things. It's really helpful. Great. So, like, you have so many things going on for you at a certain point. How do you organize that? Do you follow? Do you have like a calendar? Do you write down the events in a book? Yeah. What's the how do you how do you manage your time? Yeah, I like it. So yeah, I used to be a really spontaneous person. I mean now I'm still a spontaneous person, but I feel like in New York City it taught me like in some area you have to be a little bit like well organized, for example. Yeah, so I woke up every day and then try to think what's the priority for today and then like put a list to make them like, oh, I have to do this first and then this one. Kind of like organize things by priority. Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's really important for you to have a organized life. But in like I mean daily life like hang out with friends, those things are spontaneous. Yeah. That's true. I mean, I got a glimpse of your calendar, and you have had a big calendar. Yeah, you've been what like three or four events before this, and this is your fifth one, and then you're going to another one after this. This is a sixth. Sixth. You're going to a seventh one after this. That's great. So the next question, very important. You've posted about your journey with body image and self acceptance. How do you navigate wellness in a city obsessed with appearance? I think it depends on your opinion because I didn't see the New York City in this way. I was born in Asia where like people are really like nervous about their like body shape or so in Asia you have to be like for example, let's say girls, you have to be really skinny. And yes, but after I moved to the state, not even in New York City, I just feel like oh, everybody just like the confidence is the most beautiful things. Yeah. Yeah, it's really attractive, and then people just are really good at like finding what they are good at, and yeah. Then I just feel like people in New York City are super like confident. Everyone is unique. Yeah. You know how to be under one standard. You can just be yourself. Right. So I think that in New York City, I just like I'm myself, and I didn't feel like I'm nervous for any like standard beauty standard or something. Yeah. Did you feel like you had to change certain things about your appearance or the way you dressed in order to fit in? No, I never felt that. Yeah, I just feel sometimes I want to. I for example, I look at some magazine and feel like oh I want to try this, so I just try it, but not because of like I think I want to fit something. No. Okay. But you know, some funny thing is, so because my college is in a rural countryside, and when I was in my college, and sometimes I went shopping in New York City, I bought a lot of like shiny clothes, and then when I was back to my countryside, I was still wearing those clothes along the street, and people just look at me, oh my god, what this girl is doing? Because people in my, in the town where my college located is to just like wear, let's say like slippers and then like t-shirts. It's not a lot of like fashion shining clothes and. Oh, I see. Where was that? Rochester. Rochester. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, it's a rural place, and then I don't care. I just wear those clothes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter. Let people judge. What neighborhoods or places in New York City make you feel the most you, and why? I will. So I think each neighborhood has its unique things, and then I feel like each neighborhood for me, I wouldn't say like which one is most likely make me feel like myself. It's kind of like each neighborhood trigger different me. Right. Yeah, it's kind of that's also the magic in New York City. You go to different places, they just like help you explore different yourself. Yeah, sometimes, for example, in the neighborhood, like near the university, I feel like I'm still like young and then curious about those like new knowledge. And then when I later I switched to Chelsea, and I feel like oh, it's super artistic, and yeah, I really like to go to museum and to I like to see those like art things, and it makes me feel like oh, like um I'm romantic at that side, and yeah, so it's kind of like and also I really like Latin America, so sometimes I go to like neighborhood, let's say Brooklyn, because there's a lot of like Latin people there, and I feel like they trigger me like um because in when I was in Asia, I used to be like I wouldn't say shy. It's just like I'm not really good at like expressing things, expressing emotions, expressing love. Yeah. But like staying with those loving people really helped me to be like expressive. I really, if I feel like I like something, I would say it like loudly, and kind of like they just trigger different me. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's interesting you said that you're from Asia, you're not used to expressing yourself. I think that it's just the culture because we come from what do you call it, collectivist culture where you're not really people are not good at expressing themselves because you're like if you're too loud then it's considered as rude. Whereas over here it's individualistic culture, so people prefer talking and expressing themselves, and that's the only way to live the life. So, oh, where are you really from? I'm from India. So in your culture, maybe we have some similarity. We have a lot of similarities. Yeah. We have a lot of. I had to adjust so. I had to change so many things about myself to fit in here. Like, yeah, there is a saying. Basically, when you do something in the Western parents, it's kind of like, "Oh, you got this, you made it." Yeah. And the Asian parents are like, "Oh, don't fuck it." That is true. Yeah. I mean, everything you do here is like everybody's praises you so much. Wow, that's so great, and like I can it's really, yeah, I really like that. Yeah. It also gives me more confidence because when they see something good in me, they just speak it out. Yeah. That's true. If anybody follows you on Instagram, they know that you romanticize everyday moments that you live here. Thank you. So, how do you find beauty in the most mundane items in everyday day-to-day life with the most boring tasks you do? How do you find I good think in that? It because kind of so I think everyone carries a line. Yeah. So I think for me it's like my past experience and also what I learned kind of like give me those perspective. Yeah. Because when I was in high school I was super passionate about like those novels, and then also when I was in college I learned philosophy. So it's kind of like give me a like social science lines to watch things, to observe things. Yeah, and I think it's all about like past experience, and maybe some people they let's say they're from a artistic background or from a like scientific background, they may see things differently from me. Okay. Yeah. And I remember I have a friend, she started architecture when she was in college. So every time I travel with her, she really like she could interpret like the buildings in a really like refreshing way, kind of like oh she interpret how the light goes through the building is super professional because she carries that lines which is different from mine. So I think everybody has a lines, so you may have yours, and then yeah, but I think that's something make people interesting as well. That's great. So you mean to say that it's your academic background that makes you see everything in a different with a different perspective, and that's how you find fun even in the most boring task. Really, I mean, there are some boring tasks for me as well. For example, I'm not a lab person. Okay. Yeah, if I go to like the lab, see a lot of like machines there, yeah, I'm gonna, oh no, please don't. Yeah. So you did like you when you grew up in China, where you studied like chemistry and stuff like that in schools. Oh so you yeah, had that's like a lot of test tubes and stuff. It was really a torture for me. I really hate it. Yeah, yeah. I see myself like when I was in high school, I was super interested in some like humanity things and a lot of like novels, like I said before. And yeah. Yeah, but not in like physics, chemistry. No, I don't like it. I hate. That's disappointing for Asian parents, right? Yeah. Yeah. Next question. For someone who's new to New York City, what's your advice on finding community without losing yourself in the crowd? I think it's like, don't feel nervous, don't rush it. You just have to like patiently to check the things you seems like you feel like you're interested in, like step by step. You don't have to be like nervous and feel I fall behind and then I still didn't find a place which is like suitable for me. I'm sure you will find your place in New York City. Just don't rush it. Yeah. Yeah, and don't try to fit others. Yeah. Right. So when you were new in the city, what was the first thing you did to get rid of that fear or to step out of your comfort zone? I wouldn't say it's a fear. It's just when I moved to the city, I just randomly went to a lot of events. Right. And then after maybe when like going to a couple of events, I feel like I gradually realized, going to events like this is a waste of time for me. But going to events like that, I can really like have a lot of new information, new friends, new connection, kind of like sort them out in my mind. Yeah. You have to like you need some time to find out figure it out which things is like beneficial for you. Right. Yeah, it's because at the beginning I went to a lot of like I would say party. I think now it's like a waste of time. Yeah, I wouldn't go there right now, but I mean it's worth to figure out like what kind of things you are really interested in. Right. I think I feel the same way. Like parties are a waste of time unless you know someone in the party. Yeah. Right? I mean, now I rarely go to the party at club, just like maybe yeah. Once a year, twice a year. I mean, I'm pretty old to be going to clubs anyways, but I like going to like birthday parties or like like we went. Yeah, birthday party. Yeah. Yeah. But like party where you're gonna like there's a DJ and like random club. No. Yeah. But it's funny because so now if I go to the club, I just like turn on my Apple Watch to count the calories. Kind of like I regard it as my cardio today, so oh, okay, yeah. Interpret it in another way. So that's good. If New York City were a person, how would you describe your relationship with them? Oh, I really love this question. So I feel like New York City is my mentor, and which is also something the trait I've been looking in my friends and also in like seeking for a friend for a lover. It's kind of like I hope there is like a connection between for example me and my friend or me with my boyfriend. It kind of like it can help me like continue to grow to grow and then I think New York City right now works like that. She really helped me to identify a lot of like life problems and also to give me a mirror to see myself, to see things about me in terms of like personal or professional area. It's I think I really changed a lot after I moved to New York City. I mean, yeah, sometimes I also hate like the rental fee and let's say $11 for a Americano. Or yeah. Yeah, but it's kind of like bittersweet. But I think I feel the positive side much more than the negative side. Oh, that's good. Yeah, and also I'm curious, like your opinion about that because you mentioned like you live in New York City for 7 years so far. So I'm gonna ask this question for you. To me, the same question. I think that New York City is for me is like a big brother. It has changed me in many ways because when I came here initially, I mean, my English was good, but it wasn't great. And also, like you said, that I wasn't used to expressing myself because I was a shy introvert person. Absolutely feel you. And after, and I did the same thing. I went to like multiple events and I realized that in order to open up to people, I have to engage in small talk, which is very important in the American culture. So I learned small talk and then I changed a lot of things about myself. Like earlier, I was saying that for some people, the way they dress back home is very different from the way people dress here. So for me, I couldn't wear the same clothes that I was wearing back home because I would look totally different. So I had to change that about myself. And I think I have grown a lot, both on the professional front and on the personal front since the time I came here. And I think New York City has been like kind of a big brother guiding me through the journey and like holding me accountable throughout that journey. I still have a long way to go, and I'm sure that I'll keep improving as I go and for the amount of time I'm here. But I'm really thankful to the city. Yeah, I like the word guider. It's like what I said, mentor. Yeah. Yeah, it's like basically we are saying the same. We're saying the same thing, but using different terminology. Yeah. Is there anything else? Is there any advice, any tips, or anything for people who are gonna move to New York City? Any any advice that would be helpful for people who are watching this? I think for me, I wouldn't give some advice for really specific things like which subway you are going to take or which area has the best rental cost. Something I would say is like New York City is really a big gift for everyone. You can learn because it's good if you have a chance live in such a city. A lot of the information going is going to the city every day, yeah. And you really can gain a really fast growth here. Even you do not realize it, but so at some time point when you look at that, you really like go a lot of like far away from where you were before. Yeah, and also when I usually like see my phone and I saw a lot of like negative posts about like complaining about New York City is like dirty and then in maybe some area dangerous or something, but I wouldn't see from this side. I still see New York City is kind of like one of my best friend and so many things I learned from her. Yeah. Yeah. I think that people who complain about New York City are people who grew up very privileged and people complain about like rats and like dirty New York and the smell and this and that. I mean, it's a city of 8.5 million people. And when you have so many people living in a city, of course, you're going to have, it's not a perfect city. No city in the world is perfect. But I think if you love New York City for what it is, she'll love you back like 10 times. Yeah, it's a mutual thing. You know, like you said, I have been to 46 countries. I really saw a lot of things and then it makes me feel like just really the things I'm worrying about is also a privilege as well. Yeah. Because in the rest of the world, yeah, you don't know like what's going on. It's even worse. Yeah. So grateful for what you have in your city and then maybe grab any chance you can to like make your personal growth. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Great. Well, Cornelia, thank you so much for being here and answering so many of my questions. I know you have a busy schedule. Thank you for having me again. All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, take care.